Well, golly gee, Monster Hunter World sure is tough. These baddies are beating me left and right. I sure feel like a hardcore gamer. I don't know how it could get any tougher than this. Oh,
So let's get it out of the way. This game isn't Monster Hunter World. It looks like a PS2 game, it's confusing for newcomers, the monsters aren't as forgiving, you gotta flex to stay healthy, pickaxes and bug nets are items and break all too often, and it actually has an end game. But this game was made as a celebration of the series, rather than a welcoming to newcomers, so it wasn't really made in the mindset of people who haven't played Monster Hunter picking it up. I will admit, having just played World, it was sort of bad jumping into some of the more traditional Monster Hunter things, but nothing that was honestly too much of an inconvenience outside of forgetting to bring a pickaxe or something a few times. Whereas it doesn't look anywhere near as good as World graphically, it does have a much more unique style. Armor and weapons are a lot more varied and colorful instead of just being all unga bunga or the base weapon over and over with a tuft of fur taped onto it. I know World got some more unique ones as DLC, but the base weapons were dull as shit. I mean, look at this from regular Monster Hunter. It's a hammer and a drill. Nice. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is a flippity-floppin' year-old game that America just got because Capcom thought us burger folk absolutely hated the series. Which is fair, because I mean, for some reason, people seem to think that a game about hunting monsters is actually going to be a Devil May Cry or Bayonetta Enemu over-the-top fight instead of some semi-realistic weight and combat. No, why can't I swing the sword that's thrice my size around as easily as a butter knife? Shut up, weeb. To most, the combat will appear slow and clunky, but to those who love a challenge, it'll feel satisfying because despite the speed of some weapons, they actually have weight behind them. Sure, speed and flare is good, but I'll take a big ol' wham over a million tiny whooshes. Genu is absolutely packed with content, with almost 100 big monsters to fight, a time-sync palico farm, and 3 ranks of hunts to do, which each have some special permit hunts tacked on as well. If you didn't know from the title, Monster Hunter, again, is about hunting monsters. That is what you do. This is what you do. What are you doing? This, over and over. View it as a boss rush or what have you. If you don't like doing this 50 million times, you're not gonna like this game. Yeah, there's little monsters that you basically ignore unless you need like one drop from them, or they tick you off so much when you're gathering you have to teach that line of code a lesson. This game is all about the grind. Beating one baddie won't net you any new equipment more often than not. You'll probably have to tackle them multiple times. Since the game's technically been out for a while, there are already tons of DLC quests for unique loots, tons of crossover promotional stuff, and even a few starter item packs to make the early game less of a chore. If you played Monster Hunter Generations on 3DS, you can transfer your character to Gen U since the game is basically the same, just with the G-Rank stuff added. A lot of monsters are just reskins of others, but there is still way more variety than World if you only count the truly unique ones. It's got bugs, bears, snakes, and basically battle mechs. Plus, variants tend to get more moves or cycles, or even just give out new equipment as opposed to tempered variants in Worlds literally just gaining more HP and attack. The main draw of Generations compared to other Monster Hunters is the styles. Each weapon can choose from 6 different ones. Guild for basic bitches, Striker for aggro agitators, Aerial for scrubs who think the Je suis Monté is still a good weapon but want to bring that garbage to something else, Adept for skilled folk, Brave for more Koreze combat seekers, and Alchemy for the memes. Or if you want to truly ascend, you can even play as the Prowlers. The styles do lock out certain moves, such as the Striker lance being unable to turn around with its charge, which can be good or bad. Sometimes you'll have a favorite move in a level 2 charge that would often get overshadowed by its level 3 counterpart. But in certain styles, maybe level 2 is the max, so you can hold it as long as you want. Alongside the styles come Hunter Arts. These can range from just helpful dodges or stat boosts to the anime moves people think the base combat is gonna hold. Beating the monsties fills up the gauge, so don't expect to be flashy if you're fleeing nonstop. One thing a lot of peeps neglect is the grind in between quests. In order to maximize your item gathering, you should be checking all of your Palico patrons. The Meowster Hunters can snag some extra drops from the foe whose armor you've been eyeing. There's 2 types of training to power up those pussies to allow even more items to get got. And there's the Trader, which can farm all sorts of base combo material. If a monster is just absolutely kicking your patootie up and down the battlefield, just take a step back and maybe grind a little more. Get a fancy new set of armor with skills that actually help your weapon type. Maybe polish off that upgrade for your weapon, or make a new one that has the elemental advantage against that brute. Or just hop online and let actually good players carry your sorry carded behind. When hunting online, be sure to bring tranks and traps. In higher ranked quests, dunk bombs can be helpful to make sure no party crashers stop by while you're jamming with your actual target. As always, be mindful of the other players' roles. As mentioned in my Monster Hunter World video, if you are tackling a meanie who just has the nicest tail that can be sliced, diced, and hung over your mantle, and you're aiming for the head while sporting a knife that basically has "great for cutting tails" written on the blade, you may want to take another attempt at figuring out that "where should I fizzity-uck an attack" puzzle that's been rattling around your brain lately. Impact weapons focus the head for knockout, slice weapons focus the tail for severing, and insect glaives use their vault capability to jump right into the trash.